Are we on right now? Did you press play? Are we rolling?
Do the thing.
This is Vicious and Delicious. Josh C. Dwayne, accompanied by JT Energy, and you are listening to Slam Fam Wrestling Network. Welcome to the family, Mark. Family. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to everyone's fantasy, the one you've all been waiting for, episode 69.
69, dude!
Of Timothy Regal, and today we are going to let you in on our deepest fantasies, our most intricate thoughts. Wait, did I say intricate? Oh, shit. We're not intimate.
Not intricate, not
intricate. Yeah. We booked 3 months of this shit.
We're going Pipedream 2000. Hey, Alex.
What?
Which 2000 era WWE diva am I sleeping with?
You're not.
No, it's Pipedream, dude. Remember Pipedream where we alleged that Regal had,
Yeah. We don't do that in Pipedream Classic, remember?
I'm 20 years old in 2000. I can be in this and do stuff.
But you're not.
Okay.
Regal.
We didn't use a lot of females.
You're not booked.
Did you just flip Gordon me?
I just Dennis stamped you, motherfucker.
You just flip Gordon me.
You're not booked.
Okay, Trish Stratus wasn't booked either, so I'm just going to assume that we're off, in a hotel suite somewhere. Me and Trish Stratus,
Okay.
over and over again.
Okay.
Mickey James is there too.
What? Ladies and gentlemen, the year is 2000, but first we need to give you a little backstory. So, in 1999, Pipedream Championship Wrestling, the president of Pipedream Championship Wrestling, was none other than Mr.
Bro.
God damn it, you fucking spoiled the lead.
Bro, it's me, bro.
Okay, can I fucking tell the story?
I guess you can. Go tell the story, bro.
So, Vince Russo is the president of Pipedream Championship Wrestling in 1999. He is deathly afraid of the Y2K outbreak. So he takes it upon himself to build a bunker and hide and avoid the new millennium, leaving a vacancy for the position of president of Pipedream Championship Wrestling. God damn it, could you make any more noise with those goddamn candy wrappers? Anyway.
JT Energy just got mad through something, because...
It's candy, too. It's not even healthy. So... There's a vacancy for president. And it is announced that since it is the year 2000, and it is an election year in U.S. politics, there is going to be an election for the new president of Pipedream Championship Wrestling. So,
an election, you say?
An election.
Dude, okay, it's an election. We got to make
election.
Sure. We got to make sure it's the election in 2000. We got to make sure Miami-Dade County gets counted correctly.
Fair enough. So the opening segment of the opening show, in the road to our first pay-per-view, which is called Operation Elimination, features Chris Jericho outlining that there will be an election for the position of president of Pipedream Championship Wrestling, and that he would like to declare himself as the first candidate. We won't find out the other 3 candidates until the next week, but as of this week, we have one candidate, and it is Chris Jericho.
I just thought of something.
What?
Wouldn't Jericho run for prime minister because he's Canadian?
Shut the hell up. Segment 2 is The Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian, classic tag team match here. Regal, why don't you go ahead and tell the people what happens as this classic tag team match is going down?
Obviously, this tag team match is going down. It's a classic like you've all seen. We all know what these two teams did back in the early 2000s. However, this match ends when it is interrupted by four men, collectively known as the Filthy Animals: K-Dog, Billy Kidman, Juventud Guerrera, and Rey Mysterio Jr.
Big heel stable coming in the year 2000 here.
They are taking out the Hardys and Edge and Christian. Conan grabs the mic. Yo, let me speak on this. Odale. Basically, K-Dog says, everybody talks about what these four fools over here been doing. Everybody knows that Conan, Rey, Juvi, they were doing it in Mexico for years before these guys.
Because in this universe, Kidman was a big star in Mexico.
And they're here to take their spot back.
Alright, so that's segment 2. Up next, after that, we have a singles match, straight up. Woo! The Nature Boy Ric Flair picking up the victory over none other than Chris Candido. This one's just making the Nature look strong. TV match, very competitive match, but Flair picks up the win. After that, we have an interview with Lance Storm. And here Lance Storm is talking about how he is now a singles competitor. He wants to be taken seriously. He wants to show that he is one of the top stars in Pipedream Championship Wrestling.
Are you saying Lance wants to be serious for a minute?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah. After that, segment 5. This is another a tag team match. We booked a lot of tag team matches.
We just call us Jim Crockett Sr. because we love the tag teams.
Yeah. This is Teddy Long Championship Wrestling.
Actually, the funny thing is, anybody that actually knows me knows that actually is true.
Yeah, you love tag
I'm an
teams.
advocate. I will always... that's one of the things I hate about WWE's current product, that I am an advocate for tag team wrestling and always have been, always will be.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Dudley Boys defeat RVD and Sabu, and this is meant to show that, holy shit, our tag division is really hot. Tag team titles at the moment held by the Outsiders. We'll get to them more next week, but this is a great competitive back and forth match with the Dudleys and RVD and Sabu. Segment after that, another tag team match as the Big Show and Sting defeat The Undertaker and Kane. Oh, and I forgot, I blew the lead here. This is Sting's debut in the promotion.
Yeah.
The match is announced, the Brothers of Destruction versus Big Show and a mystery partner. He comes out with Sting. It's a baby tag match, and it ends with these four guys showing respect for each other, and great match. After that, big promo from the Macho Man Randy Savage. Dig it? Ooh yeah. So I'm coming out there, and I'm coming out to announce that it's time for Macho to be macho again. No more of this black stuff, no more of this rap theme song. I'm going back to Pomp and Circumstance, And so, yeah, Macho basically cuts a promo saying that, I just no-sold the Macho Man being in my living room, by the way. Basically says it's time for Macho to be macho again. And then in the main event, Bret the Hitman Hart defending the Pipedream Championship Wrestling World Championship against The Rock. And first TV of the new year, the year 2000, the first TV of the new millennium. And we have a new champion. The Great One, The Rock, picks up the win on Bret. And Bret is...
Bret's not happy.
Bret's not happy.
Bret's Bret. He's not happy.
Bret's Bret. So the next week, week 2... starts off with, and I'm going to have to pull some stuff up here because I know there's a lot that happens in this segment. So Bret comes out and says that he doesn't know who's in charge. There's no president. He wants his rematch against The Rock. And the first person that comes out is one of the other three candidates running for president. It is Don Callis. He loves Bret. He's a big fan of Bret. He thinks Bret's the greatest wrestler of all time, and he would be happy to grant Bret his rematch against The Rock.
For those of you who may not know, Don Callis, better known in 2000 as Cyrus of ECW.
Very much so. But the next person that comes out is none other than Paul Heyman.
Excuse me, sir. You did not say it correctly. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. Now, allow me to have another volley, if I may, sir. You know, Mr. Hart, you may want your rematch, but I do not believe necessarily that you should just be immediately granted one, if I may.
And so, nothing. And so Paul Heyman adds Steve Austin to the match. And then, I'm back. And better than ever, got a knack for making things better.
It's good to be the king!
Eric Bischoff comes out and announces that his good friend Diamond Dallas Page should also be in the match. And basically we get a main event set up for the next week that is going to be Bret Hart and The Rock versus Steve Austin and Diamond Dallas Page. If Bret and The Rock win, Bret gets his singles match. If Austin and DDP win, it will be a fatal 4-way at Operation Elimination. So that's our opening segment, week 2. After that, we have Jerry Lynn making his first appearance in this booking cycle, picking up the win over Canyon.
Jerry Canyon, good match, gets Canyon, gets Jerry over.
Yep, gets Jerry over. Jerry picks up the win. After that, we have some poor little no-name jobber out there. Regal implied it might have been an 18-year-old AJ Styles, but he comes out and Stan Hansen kills him.
Yeah.
In under a minute.
A random 2000 jobber gets killed by Stan Hansen.
Basically. And we had to check. Stan Hansen was still wrestling in 2000.
Stan Hansen actually had his last match in October, at the end of October, in All Japan Pro Wrestling in 2000, so he does qualify.
Definitely. After this, we see a public service announcement highlighting the campaign of Chris Jericho for president of Pipedream Championship Wrestling. So if you imagine I imagine 98, 97, 98 Jericho in WCW with the list of holds and going to Washington, D.C. And that's what I'm picturing as Jericho running for president.
Just a vignette of Jericho walking around Washington, D.C.
Campaigning for president.
Cutting promos on anything and everything.
Campaigning for president of Pipedream Championship Wrestling. After that, we get another promo. First we see a highlight video, kind of like those last week's hit of the week, and it was a highlight of the RVD Sabu versus the Dudleys match, just showing how competitive the tag team division was. And followed that, we get a promo from the tag team champions, the Outsiders, basically saying they didn't think there was a worthy team to challenge them. They didn't think any of the teams in the company were good enough, and they didn't think they should have to defend their tag team titles. Like, basically, Hall and Nash trying to get out of work.
Yeah, Hall and Nash are trying to get out of work. Surprise, surprise, shocking.
And so we'll see how that goes. After that, we have another tag team match. Edge and Christian this week getting the victory over Juventud Guerrera and Conan. After that, Ray and Kidman would join in, and Filthy Animals would be delivering a 4-on-2 beatdown, but the Hardys would come in and make the save. So yeah, we can kind of see where that's going.
We got 8 guys here. We're kind of building. We got the Hardys and Edge and Christian may not necessarily like each other, but the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So
and the pay-per-view is called Operation Elimination.
Yeah,
may or may not be our version of the Survivor Series.
Yeah, may or may not.
After that, we
Spoiler, it is
right. After that, we have a debut of a new stable. Eric Bischoff, one of the candidates for president, brings in his new crew, Team Bischoff, which is Lex Luger, Scott Steiner, Buff Bagwell, and JEFFJARRETT, Jeff Jarrett.
Hey, Alex.
What?
How do you think those guys spent their days?
Spend my days working hard on the go, but the hands on the clock keep spinning too slow. 'Cause I can't wait to be alone with my baby tonight. That was actually pretty in sync.
Margaret's over there rolling her eyes right now.
No, she's got her earphones in. She doesn't listen to us.
Thankfully, she doesn't.
She's not listening to us.
I can hear you talking about how I'm not listening.
Fair enough.
We just sang. You want us to do it again?
No. We don't have time. We're never going to get... We're already 15 minutes in, and we're only two shows.
First pay-per-view yet.
All right, so after that, Kurt Angle picks up the victory over Kid Cash. What happened when after Ric Flair beat Chris Candido last week, Regal? Kurt Angle was out there with a megaphone.
Oh yeah. Okay, so as Rick was going up the ramp, he runs into Kurt Angle with his megaphone and his signboard, preaching about the 3 eyes and about abstinence. So there's kind of a weird stare down, and Rick just he kind of shakes his head and walks off at this point.
Absolutely. So anyways, this week Kurt picks up the win over Kid Cash, and who's standing at the ramp when Kurt gets done?
Ric Flair.
The Nature Boy Ric Flair, and he has some choice words for Kurt, talks about how he's the champion and how Ric Flair likes to get things done.
Nate's telling Rick that Kurt, you may have your 3 eyes, kid, but why does my Rick sound like Ernie Ladd? I don't know.
I have no idea.
So you may have your 3 eyes.
Maybe the real Rick will show up later.
But when you're the Nature Boy, you're the only eye is all night long. Woo!
That didn't make any sense.
That didn't.
The main event then, the last segment of the show.
He may have been,
Triple H and Stephanie come out, and they say that since Macho didn't want to be Macho again.
We want to be Macho again, but in order to be Macho again at the end, he also said that he was going to be riding off into the sea of madness, if you will.
Yeah, he was he announced his retirement. So Triple H and Stephanie come out and say that since Macho's retiring, they only thought it right that next week Miss Elizabeth come to Pipedream Championship Wrestling and declare Stephanie as the new First Lady of professional wrestling.
Absolutely.
So that's the end of week 2. All right, week 3 opens up. Hall and Nash trying to get out of work. Didn't go too well for Scott Hall. Rob Van Dam picks up the victory over Scott Hall. And after the match, Kevin Nash takes a 3D.
Yeah, so we got RVD and Sabu, we got the Dudleys, and we have Hall and Nash.
Yeah, so that's kind of setting. Had the match been announced at that point?
I don't think it had.
I don't know if it had, but we're going through a 3-way tag for the titles.
Yeah, head towards this 3-way tag in Operation Elimination.
Yep. Next up, Stan Hansen kills another jobber. Who might this have been, Regal?
This might have been Christopher Daniels.
Might have been Christopher Daniels. Might have been Donovan Morgan. Maybe American Kickboxer.
Oh, dear Lord. Why didn't I think of that one? Tarek the Great.
All right. After that, another Chris Jericho PSA announcing his campaign for presidency. Where might Chris Jericho be?
He was actually in Paris, France.
Campaigning? Oh, wow.
He's campaigning in France.
Awesome. After this, we see the Hardys picking up the victory over Rey Mysterio and Kidman by DQ when Conan and Hoovy get involved. Again, Edge and Christian make the save here. So, planting some seeds. Operation Elimination heading our way. Next up, Triple H and Stephanie come out for a ceremony, and they bring Liz out, and Liz is definitely very uncomfortable as they want her to crown Stephanie as the new First Lady of Wrestling. And so retirement lasted about 2 weeks.
This brings out the Macho Man, who runs to the ring, chases off Triple H and Stephanie, destroys everything within a 100-foot radius, and basically we kind of just go from there with Macho just being Mach.
Yeah, and Macho being Macho, and gets probably chased off by security after he destroys everything in sight.
Yeah, and
Triple H and Stephanie powder out.
Yeah.
Up next, Lance Storm picks up the victory over Shane Helms in just kind of a little bit more than an enhancement match. It's a named guy that would have a good match with him, but Helms isn't anybody we've got on our radar. Lance picks up the victory there. After that, it's a classic match representative of Team Bischoff. Lex Luger taking on the man who debuted 2 weeks ago, the man called Sting. And
Lex and Sting? You mean that never happened before?
No.
Oh.
Anyways, not in Pipedream.
Not in Pipedream, yeah.
Sting picks up the victory over Luger. After that, Steiner, Jarrett, and Bagwell get involved attacking Sting, and Sting is saved by none other Then Big Show and the Brothers of Destruction, leading to an 8-man melee in the middle of the ring there, setting up another 4-on-4 elimination match for Operation Elimination. After that, we have Kurt Angle doing a little bit of a Ric Flair impression.
Yeah, Kurt comes out. Anybody knows, see Kurt's classic promos knows he was quite funny when he would do the impressions. They're quite entertaining with it. So he comes out. He's got a blonde hair wig on. He's got the Ric Flair robe. He's out cutting a promo, basically making fun of Rick.
Yeah, so setting up. They're going to have a match at Operation Elimination. Then the main event, somewhat surprisingly, Bret Hart and The Rock pick up the victory over Steve Austin and DDP. After the match, Rock says, hey, Bret, I'm happy to give you your shot, and I'm going to give you your shot one-on-one. But I'm not going to give it to you at the pay-per-view. I'm going to give it to you next week. And I say, whoever wins, we still defend it in the Fatal 4-Way at the pay-per-view and give the fans the main event they were promised. So Rock basically sets up a title match for next week and keeps the 4-Way for the pay-per-view. And Regal's falling asleep here.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I have been awake since 5 a.m. So.
Well, we're almost done. No, we're not. We're about a third of the way through. We're about a third of the way through. Next up, so that's the end of week 3. Week 4, we have open up with the Randy promo. Macho Man says, I planned on retiring, but I'm not going to. I'm back.
Not doing it, not retiring. We got a little bit of fight left in,
So it sets up Randy and Triple H for the pay-per-view Operation Elimination. Next match of the night sees Jerry Lynn defeat Justin Credible. And after Lance Storm defeated Shane Helms the week before, I need to figure out a way so I can do this. I can see both pages. Because I've got more details on the first page than the second page.
We need a notebook.
Yeah. Lance Storm had challenged Jerry Lynn the week before. And this week, Jerry Lynn accepts the challenge. After that, we see Matt Hardy and Edge. Matt Hardy and Edge,
a dream tag team.
Pick up the victory over Conan and Rey Mysterio.
Wonder what Lita would think about that tag team.
Why do you think I booked it? You don't think I thought about that when I booked it?
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway, so Matt and Edge pick up the victory over Conan and Rey, and again sets up that 4-on-4. After that, the candidates are having a meeting, and Chris Jericho comes in. He says, why has the Pipedream Championship Wrestling not accepted my campaign papers? And they say, you know what, kid? You want to run. You want to be taken seriously as a candidate. Fine. All you have to do is beat Stan Hansen. So it's Chris Jericho versus Stan Hansen.
Chris Jericho versus Stan Hansen in 2000.
I'm excited.
I would have paid money to see that.
Yes, absolutely. Next up, Kevin Nash versus Sabu. Nash picks up the victory by disqualification because Sabu has no regard for the rules. Dudley's come in afterwards. RVD gets involved. Hall gets involved. Setting up that 3-way tag for Operation Elimination.
Dear God, I can only imagine what a Kevin Nash-Sabu match would be like.
Short.
Yeah.
Hopefully short.
Nash would be like, yeah, no.
Nash looks at this, 7 minutes, how about 2?
Yeah.
After that, we see Ric Flair live from the bar. Rick is styling, woo! Where you're living, Regal.
Rick!
I liked this.
You like the fact we put you in a promo at a bar?
Okay, let me put it this way. I would have liked it back then. I'm clean now. I'm not so crazy about it now, but I would have liked it back in 2000. Promo at the bar, challenging Kurt Angle to a match at Operation Elimination. I love it. After that, we see The Undertaker and Kane pick up a victory over the team of Scott Steiner and Buff Bagwell, representing Team Bischoff, setting up that 4-on-4. And in the main event, The Rock defeats Bret Hart once again. So Bret's still got his fatal 4-way shot. At the pay-per-view, Rock grabs the mic and says, Brett, you wanted your singles shot. I gave it to you. You got another shot Sunday. If you don't win Sunday, it's going to be your last shot as long as I'm the champion. So now let's run down Operation Elimination.
Big pay-per-view here.
First pay-per-view, yep, absolutely.
And did you tell them we're giving them 3 months?
Yeah, we're going to give them 3 months.
Yeah.
3 months with TV. Let us know, did you like the year-long, month-to-month pay-per-view format only?
Yeah, if you're one of the guys who listen to this, if you like the year, let us know if you like the year-long indie style where we give you just the one show every month, or do you like the old school, 90s, 80s booking TV style? Let us know what you like.
I'm fine with it. I like both, but I also don't, Anyways, opening match. Undertaker, Kane, Big Show, and Sting are defeated by Team Bischoff. Luger, Steiner, Buff, and Jarrett getting that new, fresh heel stable over. Second match, we have new tag team champions as RVD and Sabu pick up the victory in that three-way tag. After that, Kurt Angle and Chris Jericho. No, not Kurt Angle. No, sorry, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle and Ric Flair.
Yeah, Kurt Angle and Ric Flair. Angle and Jericho ain't wrestling.
We never booked Angle and Jericho, I don't think.
No, we didn't.
Flair picks up the victory. Clean.
Woo!
Angle's not too happy about that. Rick loved it. After that, so Chris Jericho's out there to face Stan Hansen. Callis, Heyman, and Bischoff are all out there. And they keep trying to kind of screw with Jericho. It ends up backfiring. They cost Hansen the match. Jericho wins, and he is the fourth candidate for the position of president in Pipedream Championship Wrestling. And the way we're kind of playing that is that each candidate has sort of pseudo GM powers until the actual election.
And after the match, because he's pissed off that they tried to help him and he lost, Stan basically tells the other three to screw it, and
he's going back to Japan.
He went back to all Japan.
After that, Lance Storm picks up the victory over Jerry Lynn. Really good match. Can't imagine that'd be anything other than a really good match. After that, Edge, Christian, and the Hardys pick up the win over the Filthy Animals. Again, I'm sure a great match. Baby's over. Randy Savage actually picks up the victory over Triple H.
Randy defeats Triple H clean here.
Yes. And then The Rock retains his championship. What happens is, looks like Austin's got it. He's got Brett where he wants him. Bang! Austin gets hit with the diamond cutter. Rock comes in, hits Brett with the rock bottom. 1, 2, 3. Rock retains.
Brett takes the pin here again.
Yes, Brett takes the pin. Very important. All right, now we are...
Want me to take over for a little bit?
If you want to, yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk for a little bit.
Go ahead.
All right, now we are to the night after Operation Elimination. We have Bret Hart comes to the ring. Of course, he's not happy. He's whining. He's crying. He got screwed. How dare they screw him because he is Canada's greatest professional wrestler. And he is interrupted by Lance Storm. Lance Storm says, Brett, I respect you. I respect your family. Your family trained me for professional wrestling. But I gotta say, you don't need to act like this, man. You don't need to be this guy. You had to run a bad luck, but try to put it behind you. After that, Jerry Lynn defeats Conan. Good solid match. Lynn goes over there. After that, Dudley's defeat Edge and Christian.
Again, just another solid wrestling match.
Good match. After that, Eric Bischoff comes to the ring.
What?
Bischoff comes to the ring.
I don't remember what. Oh, is he announcing? Oh, the 10-man battle royal.
Yes.
The 10-man battle royal, where the winner will get a title shot at Election Day, and he is putting all 4 members of Team Bischoff in the battle royal.
After that, Big Show defeats Jeff Jarrett. And
Big Show basically kind of cuts a promo saying, I don't think that's fair that all 4 of your guys are automatically in. Because he's trying to get himself in also.
Show's trying to get in. Then after that, your main event, it's RVD. RVD and Sabu, they defeat the Outsiders in a rematch. So they retain the tag team titles.
Clean victory.
After that, we go to week 2.
Well, no. There's another column there.
Oh, there is?
Yes. That was not the main event. What number are you on?
Number 6.
Yeah, it goes to at least 8 or 9. Yeah, Triple H promo after.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Where he basically says, "Hey, Macho Man beat me. He couldn't do it twice. I'm here to take him out, etc., etc." And that's setting up a future match. Main event: The Rock, fighting champion, defeats Lex Luger clean. All right. So you see how it goes: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
You want to take TV?
I got that
TV
now.
week 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a little hard to read on the first one. But
Sorry. Do you want me to turn the lamp on?
Yeah, that might help.
Go ahead.
Such professionalism here on Off the Chest. Okay, segment 1 of week 2. The Rock, the fighting champion. We open the show. Heyman puts him right into a title match. He's going to take on Sabu. Rock defeats Sabu. That would be an excellent match.
I think so.
Would love
Very
to see.
physical. Because I bet those two would bump like crazy for each other.
Yeah. After that, we get a Kurt Angle promo, which is what again?
He wants a title shot. He believes he is the best. He wants a shot at the gold, and he wants an opportunity.
After that, Jerry Lynn defeats Juventud Guerrera.
And after that, the Filthy Animals try to jump Jerry, but he is saved
by the Hardy Boys.
Yes.
Yeah, Jerry Lynn saved by the Hardy Boys. After that, in what would be an amazing match, Lance Storm defeats Juventud Guerrera. With Brett is on commentary for this match, I believe.
Yep.
After that, Edge and Christian promo. They say they want another match with the Dudleys and set it up for next week. After segment 6, we got Sting defeating Jeff Jarrett.
And Sting basically says he also doesn't think it's fair that the guys from Team Bischoff automatically all get spots in the Battle Royal.
Up to number 7, we got Undertaker and Kane are out for a promo.
Yep, declaring themselves in the Battle Royal.
Yep, they're putting themselves in the Battle Royal.
10-man Battle Royal.
In segment 8, we have a rematch from the pay-per-view given away on TV. We got Triple H.
Regal told me I was crazy for giving this match away on free TV.
Yeah, never give this match away on free TV. Triple H versus Randy Savage. Triple H goes over here.
No contest.
Oh, it's no contest. That's right.
Double count out. They're fighting all over the building.
No contest. They fight all over the building. Bischoff gets bumped during trying to break up the melee.
Yeah, Macho Man bumps into Bish.
Bischoff gets bumped trying to break up the melee. And that's how we go off the air. We open up the next week of TV. Bischoff cuts a promo and says that Randy is barred from the building. He is banned from the building. He will not be allowed in. So
we will not see Macho Man tonight.
Bischoff takes that. Also puts Team Bischoff into a match with Sting and the Big Show.
Sets up that match for the pay-per-view. Taking on, it's going to be, I believe, Bagwell and Scott versus, where you at?
Match 2, we got the Hardys taking on Ray and Kidman. Ray and Kidman defeat the Hardys. Good solid match there.
Setting up the 6-man tag for Forever Macho.
Segment 3, RVD and Sabu. They get a showcase match on TV. They defeat Shane Helms and Shannon Moore.
Yep.
Three count.
Yes.
Two
out of 3 count.
2 out of 3 count.
2 count.
2 count because
which is all they can get in the match because we're not pushing them.
Because we're not booking nothing happening Evan Courageous.
Fair enough.
After that, we get a DDP Austin promo.
That's where DDP announces himself for the Battle Royal. Austin says, "Hey, if you're in, I'm in."
Yep. So we got 2 guys two big names going into the Battle Royal. We got a big interesting match coming up after this break. It is Bret Hart and Lance Storm taking on Lex and Buff. Lex and Buff get a victory here because Bret
walks out
on Lance. Obviously, Bret's dejected. He's on a losing streak. He actually walks out on Lance. After that, we get Angle versus Jericho.
What?
Angle versus Jericho. We booked it.
Why? Oh, yeah! God, I totally forgot.
Angle defeats,
do you remember?
Angle defeats Jericho. What happened?
Yes, Angle defeats Jericho. And it's a number one contenders match. And Angle basically says, Angle defeats Jericho, says, alright, I'm the number one contender for the world title. I'm going to get a match against The Rock. And Jericho, who is a candidate and technically has booking power.
Jericho says, wait a minute, we told you won number one contendership, but you won number one contendership for the tag team championship.
Yep, Jericho, and then goes on to say, the person facing The Rock at the pay-per-view Forever Macho is going to be none other than me. Yeah. Jericho books himself against The Rock and basically tells Angle, you're the number one contender to the tag team titles.
So after that, Team Bischoff jumps Sting and Show in the locker room. They lay Sting and Show out.
Setting up the tag team match for the pay-per-view.
After that, Edge and Christian defeat the Dudleys, so we're 1-1 now.
Yep.
Between those two teams.
Yes.
And then in your main event, it is Triple H taking on Kane. This
match does not even start.
Doesn't even start because they get to the ring, and of course, coming running through the crowd, here comes the Macho Man.
He is livid.
He's livid. He's taking out, however, God knows how many independent talent are working as extras, working security here.
Yeah.
He's destroying everything. I mean, it's a bad scene. Triple H is egging him on. And finally, it's just, we just basically go off the air with, 20 cops basically retaining Savage.
Right.
Okay, so then we go to week 4, the go-home show for Forever Macho. We have opening match, Jeff Hardy defeats Juventud Guerrera. Going to help set up this 6-man tag a little bit.
Yep.
Match 2, we got Sting and Show. They defeat the Outsiders.
Again, setting them up for their tag match against Steiner and Bagwell at Forever Macho.
After that, the Dudley Boys come out. The Dudley Boys basically say, look, it's 1-1. We don't care what's going on. We want a match with Edge and Christian at Forever Macho. We're gonna settle this out. We're gonna figure this out with one last match.
Absolutely.
After that, Billy Kidman defeats Matt Hardy. So now we've got the guys that we're leading up to 1-1. Okay, so the next segment, we get all of the candidates for president of Pipedream Championship Wrestling. They are having a conference. It leads into Kurt Angle. He comes in.
Yep.
He's mad. He's like, I got screwed over. Why am I wrestling for the tag team titles instead of the world title?
I don't even have a partner.
Of course, the Nature Boy struts in, and Bischoff and Callis they get together. They go, we got an idea. You want a tag team partner? There's your tag team partner.
So it'll be Kurt Angle and Ric Flair versus RVD and Sabu. But also in that segment, they say we're tired of this Triple H Macho thing, and Callis says, you know what? Let's do it again. Forever Macho, Savage and Triple H one more time. And Heyman says, let's do one better. Let's put it inside a steel cage.
So then we got the cage. We have the main event set up for Forever Macho. It is cage match, Macho Man versus Triple H. After that, let's see, where was it?
Segment 6.
Segment 6. We have Steve Austin, the Brothers of Destruction. They defeat Team Bischoff, setting up the 10-man number 1 contenders battle royal.
Yep, all these guys involved. These six, Hall and Nash, and then the winner of the Bagwell-Steiner versus Show Sting match.
Yeah. After that, we have another very, very interesting segment. It is DDP taking on Bret the Hitman Hart. Lance Storm is on commentary. Bret's actually doing great, looking better than he's looked in quite a while since he's been on this streak. But Bret, of course, he starts hitting his moves. He comes off with that elbow off the second rope. Instead of going for the sharpshooter, Bret turns around, looks at the commentary table. He's yelling at Lance,
saying, "This is how you do it. This is how you know that I'm the greatest.
You know that I'm the best there is, best there was, best there ever will be." Of course, while he's yelling at Lance,
Bang!
Turns around and bang! Diamond Cutter. 1, 2, 3. DDP defeats Bret Hart. After that, it is Rey Mysterio defeating...
No!
Huh?
Time limit draw.
Oh, Ray and Jerry win.
Yes.
Go to a time limit draw. Good match there. Then
basically setting up their 6-man tag.
Yeah.
That they got one win each, and then the third match was a draw. Yeah. Setting up that 6-man tag for Forever Macho.
Segment 9, we got Jericho out. We got The Rock out.
Yeah, just setting up their match. Face-off promo. This would have been good. Setting up their main event at Forever Macho. You got to go back a page to see the pay-per-view results.
Yep.
And then start at the bottom.
So we go to
Forever Macho.
Forever Macho. The opening match, we have the tag team match. Winners get into the tag team.
The 10-man Battle Royal.
Battle Royal. And it is Bagwell and Steiner pick up the victory. They kind of, lose a little help from the other members of Team Bischoff. So all 4 members of Team Bischoff are in the Battle Royal.
Yep.
After that, Edge and Christian, the Dudleys. No real thing here, but obviously a great match for a pay-per-view.
Yep.
Edge and Christian pick up a victory, keeping them strong. Then, 6-man tag, Jerry Lynn and the Hardys. They go down in defeat to Ray, Kidman, and Hoobie. Conan, may have given him a little help there, because he's on the outside. After that, we have the 10-man Battle Royal. We got...
The important stories in this match are that Steve Austin was not ever actually eliminated. He was eliminated by a member of Team Bischoff something. Either way, Steve Austin had a claim to had claim to winning the Battle Royal. Ultimately, the winner of the Battle Royal, the man who overcame the odds, was none other than Diamond Dallas Page, meaning that on Election Day, our big pay-per-view, our culminating pay-per-view, Diamond Dallas Page will challenge for the Pipedream Championship Wrestling World Title.
After that, the tag team title match, it's RVD and Sabu taking on Flair and Angle. Flair and Angle just can't get along. They can't get it together. RVD and Sabu pick up the victory. They retain the tag team titles. After that, I just want to say first off, this angle kind of came up in the inception of Pipedream 2000.
Yeah.
Bret Hart and Lance Storm.
Yes.
Lance actually picks up the victory here, so Bret's losing streak continues.
Yes.
Just Bret is now just going to be even more mad than ever. It's up, it's down, but Lance is picking up the victory here. He's on a roll. Co-main event, we have Jericho defeats The Rock.
Yes.
Jericho defeats The Rock.
New champion.
Jericho is the new champion of Pipedream Championship Wrestling.
So, as it stands right now, unless something changes, the main event of Election Day is Chris Jericho versus Diamond Dallas Page.
Then, of course, in the main event, it is Triple H versus Randy Savage, taking in a steel cage match. It is just an absolute war, knockdown, drag out. Both guys are bleeding. In the end, Triple H wins it. He takes out the Macho Man.
And officially Macho Man retires.
Officially Macho Man is now retired from Pipedream Championship Wrestling.
And now we're building up to our election day. We're going to do 5 TVs. We're going to do something interesting. Of the first 4 of the 5 TVs, each candidate for president is going to have total control for a night. So, Regal, do you want to kind of go back and forth?
Yeah, we'll go. So I'll do TV number 1.
All right.
TV number 1, and this is Paul Heyman in charge.
Yep.
We open up with The Rock coming out cutting a promo, basically saying, yeah, Jericho beat me, it sucks, but I've got to go. I'm going to be gone for a little bit, but here's what's going to happen. I got a rematch clause. I can't invoke it this time, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to give my match tonight to Steve Austin.
Because he was wrongfully eliminated in the Battle Royal.
Yep. Austin was wrongfully eliminated in the Battle Royal, so Rock, along with a little help, obviously tells Heyman, it's my
Heyman agrees. Heyman, big fan of
giving
Austin.
the match, but Heyman agrees. It is going to be Austin and Jericho in the main event tonight
for the title,
for the belt. Up next, segment 2, the first match night. Christian defeats Juventud Guerrera. Anything after that?
What do you? No, it's just setting up the. It's just showcasing both guys. Really, we're building to something, but it's not yet.
Okay. Segment 3, Heyman's backstage. He brings in Jerry Wynn. Announces that at Election Day, there's going to be a fatal 4-way match where each of the candidates will get to pick a representative.
Yep.
Heyman decides he's going to pick somebody he knows better than anybody, and he picks Jerry Lynn.
If Jerry Lynn can be successful tonight.
If Jerry Lynn can be successful, Jerry Lynn has to take out Team Bischoff member Lex Luger.
Yep.
Segment up next, we have Lance Storm defeats Chris Candido. Post-match, Brett runs in.
Attacks Lance.
It's just
brutally attacks him. Puts him in the sharpshooter.
Brett's just crying all over the place.
And Lance reverses it and puts him in a single leg crab. This was your angle.
Yeah, Brett. It's been a while. Brett goes for the sharpshooter. Lance counters into the single leg crab that Lance was known for. Brett powders out. The two kind of stare each other down.
Right.
Match 5, RVD and Sabu defeat the Dudleys. Both guys show respect. This match, of course, set up because Paul sets it up. Yep. He's in charge.
Dudley boys turn babyface here.
Dudley boys, kind of turning baby. They show respect after the match. Jerry Lynn defeats Lex Luger. So now Jerry Lynn is officially Paul Heyman's representative into the Fatal 4-Way at Election Day.
Yes.
After that, we get a promo from Triple H. Triple H comes out, gloats about how he officially defeated Macho Man. He sent Randy off into the sea of madness. And that there is no one. He is the true legend of wrestling. There is no one left for him to beat. No one left for him to take out. So he may just run it off himself. So,
yep.
Then we got the main event for the world title. It is Austin versus Chris Jericho. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, defeats Chris Jericho.
Yep.
So
new champion.
We have a new champion. The
2 nights in a row. Yep.
The day after the Savage, we got a new champion. Austin is now the champion, and Austin's going to go on. Right now, the match scheduled. It's Austin and DDP at Election Day for the title.
But with all 4 of these candidates each having their own night in charge, you can't imagine that Austin isn't going to have to defend that title once or twice between now and Election Day.
It's going to be a little crazy on the road to Election Day.
So, the opening match, Eric Bischoff wants to show the people the kind of president that he's going to be, the kind of things he can do as president, and why he might be a good president for the network, how he can bring better ratings to the television show. He brings in his opinion, the greatest professional wrestling star of all time. He brings out
He's
American
made.
Thank you, Regal. Brings out Hulk Hogan, welcomes him aboard. Hogan says it's great to be here, and I appreciate you signing me, but I'm not joining Team Bischoff. I'm not here to be one of your lackeys. I'm here to be a part of Pipedream Championship Wrestling. Bischoff says, you know what, fine. Luger kind of gets in his face. Hogan says, I'm not wrestling tonight, but I'll be in Sting's corner when he takes you on in the main event, Lex. Setting up our main event tonight, Sting with Hulk Hogan versus Lex Luger. Next up, in the second match of the night, Eric Bischoff announces that in the Fatal 4-Way at Election Day, his representative will be the chosen one, Jeff Jarrett, and he's going to give Jeff a world title shot tonight. Doesn't go so well, and he says that match is going to be right now. So it's Jeff Jarrett versus Steve Austin for the world title. Old Stone Cold picks up the win, first successful title defense for the Rattlesnake. After that, we have a triple threat match featuring three of the top tag team wrestlers in singles roles. Rey Mysterio with Conan defeats Edge and Jeff Hardy in a triple threat match, kind of setting up how things might go for Election Day. After that, RVD and Sabu defend the tag team titles against Eric Bischoff's buddies, the Outsiders. Ultimately, RVD and Sabu successfully defend. The Outsiders try to beat them down after the match, and the Dudley Boys make the save and beat up the Outsiders. Up next, Kurt Angle comes out, says he lost to Diamond Dallas Page last week, and basically says it's because of having to tag team with Ric Flair. He had to be on the road with Ric Flair. He says Ric Flair was a bad influence on him, and he lives a pure lifestyle, and he wants to beat up Ric Flair after Ric Flair, in his opinion, cost them the tag team titles and cost him against Diamond Dallas Page last week. So up next, it's Buff. Were you going to say something, Regal?
No.
Oh. Up next, Buff Bagwell and Scott Steiner take on the Brothers of Destruction. Ultimately, Jeff Jarrett, their brother in Team Bischoff, interferes. Meanwhile, this whole time that they're getting cheated against 3-on-2, Taker has one eye on the entranceway. Taker's clearly looking for somebody, but nobody comes. And so Bagwell and Steiner pick up the victory over Undertaker and Kane. After that, we have Triple H defeating the Big Show. And afterwards, Triple H basically saying he's upset that he has to compete tonight. He doesn't think he has anything left to prove. He's taken out the biggest guy in wrestling physically. He takes the sledgehammer after the match, delivers a couple blows to the knee. He injures the Big Show, making it the last time we'll see Big Show in Pipedream Championship Wrestling this cycle. Up next, we have one of the classic hype videos for the number one contender, Diamond Dallas Page, showing what a stand-up guy he is, showing he's a blue-collar guy, hard worker, and he is wants to be on the way to the top in Pipedream Championship Wrestling. Main event sees the man called Sting. He's got all of his focus on rekindling his friendship with Hulk Hogan, all of his focus on defeating Lex Luger, and isn't particularly noticing that a guy who used to be one of his buddies, Undertaker, comes out and is kind of watching this, and Sting picks up the victory. All right, Regal, next week, Don Callis is in charge. Tell us what happens.
It is Don Callis in charge. And Don's kind of been a little bit of a wild card so far.
A little bit of an enigma, an
anomaly. He's a little bit of an enigma here. And he's going to decide. He comes out. He's makes the announcement. He's going to showcase the premier athletes from the greatest nation in the world. The athletes from the great nation of Canada.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know,
Steve from Canada?
No, but he's close. It opens up the show. It brings out, says not only is he going to showcase athletes from the great nation of Canada, he's going to bring in some new blood, some new talent, and he brings in the king of old school, Steve Corino, and announces that we're going to have a world title match, and it's going to be Steve Austin taking on Steve Corino in our main event
match in 2000.
It would have been.
Austin was actually injured for most of 2000.
Oh yeah. Came back in Survivor Series 2000.
Yeah.
RVD and Sabu take on when Edge and Christian. They go to a time limit draw. Obviously, Edge and Christian are Canadian, so they're getting showcased here. Rey Mysterio and Kidman defeat the Hardys. None of these guys is Canadian,
No.
but Don apparently liked the match.
Yeah. And sets up the tag title match for Election Day.
Yes, it's up for Election Day.
TLC with those 4 teams.
Match number 4, the match that Don personally loves more than anything. It is Lance Storm and Jerry Lynn defeating Bret Hart and Chris Jericho. Why? Because 3 of these guys are Canadian. 1 guy's from Minnesota, so he might as well be Canadian.
Who's from Minnesota?
Jerry Lynn.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry's from Minnesota. If you're from Minnesota...
I forgot that we took Kurt Angle.
Honestly, we could actually give Minnesota to Canada, and I would not complain about that.
Are you kidding me? Minnesota's got the Mall of America, First Wrestling.
Minnesota has the Vikings.
Huffman.
I do like Huffman. We can keep Huffman.
Get out of here.
Minnesota also has the Vikings.
Fair enough.
Nobody likes them.
Wow. You're a Packer fan. You're trash.
Yes, I am.
I'd rather give Wisconsin to Canada than Minnesota.
Bite your tongue. Can we universally agree we should just give Cleveland to Canada?
I don't care about Cleveland. Keep going.
Actually, Kat might get mad if we did that.
Yeah.
Where was I?
I have the tag match.
Number 5, yeah. Tag match. So, Storm and Lynn, they defeat Bret and Jericho.
Bret taking the pin.
Bret takes the pin from Lance Storm. After that, segment 5, Triple H comes out. He said, okay, I thought there was no one left, but maybe I was wrong.
Yeah.
And he calls out, he says he wants the biggest legend that wrestling has ever known, and he calls out Hulk Hogan.
The immortal Hulk Hogan.
He wants a match with the Hulkster. After that, we have Kurt Angle and the Outsiders. They defeat Ric Flair and the Dudleys. Angle pins Flair here.
And this is basically just one of those, y'all are going to fight each other at the pay-per-view, so we're going to throw you in a 6-man tag tonight. Because that match made no fucking sense.
After that, we got Team Bischoff. So we got 3 members of Team Bischoff. We got Luger, Buff, and
Steiner.
They're taking on Sting, Undertaker, and Kane. During the match, Taker actually walks out. Kane doesn't really walk out with Taker, but he walks out
to see what the hell's going on.
He actually follows him, trying to talk sense into him, and they, without noticing it, they leave Sting alone.
Well, Taker noticed what he's doing.
Taker noticed, but Kane kind of without noticing leave Sting hanging, and Sting gets taken out 3-on-1. So Team Bischoff picks up the victory. After that, we get a backstage promo from The Undertaker. Taker says a few weeks ago he was looking for backup, looking for help from Sting. None showed up. He wants to know where Sting was. Obviously, Sting was
getting ready for his main event.
Sting was getting ready for his world title match, but Taker...
Well, it wasn't a world title match. It was just a match with Lex Luger.
Just a match with Lex Luger, but obviously Taker doesn't look at it like that. So Taker's pissed. He walked out on Sting.
This is basically Taker's heel turn.
Yep, Taker turns heel here. After that, we get the world title match. Austin and Carino. It goes to a no contest because Rhino makes his debut and gores Steve Austin. DDP runs in to make the save. Heyman comes out, even though
Callis comes out.
Callis comes out and says, let's not end the show this way. We got 2 guys that want to fight. We got 2 guys over here that want to fight. Let's go ahead. Let's make it a tag match.
Playa.
It's going to be Carino and Rhino taking on Austin and DDP. Carino and Rhino defeat Austin and DDP.
Yep.
What was the...
Well, Austin gets dropped with the diamond cutter.
Oh, well, but that was after the match, wasn't it?
No.
Oh. Austin accidentally gets hit with a diamond cutter. Just one of those things where he was going to go for it on Carino. Carino ducks it. Austin gets hit with it. And that is how we end Don Callis week for show number 3. Now
Next
we go
up
to...
is the insanity that is Chris Jericho week.
Chris
it is
Jericho
my turn.
is it? Oh, I really wanted to do Chris Jericho week.
Too bad.
Chris Jericho week was the funnest week.
All right. Chris Jericho week opens up with a Sting promo, basically saying, hey, Taker, I'm sorry you feel that way, but if you want to settle this, let's settle this. Sting basically throws down the challenge for Taker, sets up it's going to be Sting and Taker at Election Day. Big match, never before seen. Segment 2, I imagine Chris Jericho's probably out on stage all night.
Yeah, like Jericho's like sitting on a throne on the stage.
Yes. And so he says, okay, at Election Day, I have to compete in a Fatal 4-Way against Jeff Jarrett, Steve Corino, and Jerry Lynn. So tonight, I'm going to put them in a 6-man tag against the team of Stan Hansen, Vader, and Sid Vicious. All three making their debut. Hansen making his return. The other two making their debut.
That All Japan tour got over.
Yeah, the All Japan tour is over. So Vader, Sid, and Hansen pick up the victory over Jarrett, Corino, and Jerry Lynn. Basically, Jericho trying to weaken his opponents for Election Day. After that, we got an
You know how hard with that match we just popped Thomas Montgomery?
Whatever, he doesn't. He's probably 6 months behind on the Off the Chest podcast.
Yeah, he probably is.
Anyways, so next up we have an Outsiders promo basically saying, we're tired of the Dudleys. We're going to settle this once and for all. We're going to put the Dudleys out of commission. We're going to do it at Election Day. Up next, Jericho announces that later tonight he's going to win the world title back. So he's going to work over he's going to make sure his opponent, Diamond Dallas Page, at Election Day, since he's going to have double duty at Election Day, he wants to make sure that his opponent is weakened. So he puts Diamond Dallas Page in a 3-on-1 handicap match against Scott Steiner, Lex Luger, and Buff Bagwell. And so they pick up the victory there over DDP. And up next, out comes the immortal Hulk Hogan, and he accepts Triple H's challenge for Election Day. So we got that one. Up next, we have a rematch from Operation Elimination as the Hardys, Edge, and Christian once again defeat the Filthy Animals. And we now know that it's going to be Ray and Kidman versus the Hardys versus Edge and Christian versus RVD and Sabu. Well, hypothetically RVD and Sabu. Basically, it's going to be 4 teams, possibly 5, I guess, in a TLC for the tag team titles. After that, Chris Jericho gives himself a world title match against Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin picks up the victory.
But wait, there's more.
Jericho says, well, if I can't win the world title, then I want to be tag team champion. So RVD and Sabu get out here, and my partner is none other than my favorite wrestler, the excellence of execution, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, Bret Hart. So Jericho and Bret challenge RVD and Sabu for the tag titles. Bret takes the pin again.
But wait, there's more.
Jericho grabs the microphone again and says, hey, Bret Hart, you're trash. You were never my favorite wrestler. The real best Canadian wrestler is my former tag team partner from Smoky Mountain Wrestling, Lance Storm. So right now, it's going to be RVD and Sabu versus the Thrill Seekers for the tag team championships. This match goes on for a while before Bret decides that he wants to, attack Lance and basically cause Jericho to lose the match. And that's Chris Jericho week. And next week, it's kind of back to everybody kind of collaborating. And it's the TV5, the Go Home show.
Then I'll do the pay-per-view.
I thought for sure you'd want to do this one.
I definitely want to do week 5. Okay. So, we open up with a presidential debate. So, we have all 4 of the presidential candidates in the ring. Over the course of this, we get a few things come out. Don Callis makes a campaign promise. He sets up a hardcore match for the pay-per-view between his man Rhino and Kane. What else?
I think, is that also where we announce Bret Hart and...
Bret Hart versus Lance Storm gets announced as an Ultimate Submission. We officially make the tag team TL. Well, we already got tag team TLC, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yep. So we are. That's
basically ties up all the loose ends.
Yep.
No. That's in the next segment, I think.
Up next, we have Sabu defeats Kidman, Jeff Hardy, and Christian. So we have a fatal 4-way with a man representing each team in the TLC ladder match.
You know the L in TLC stands for ladder?
Yes.
Drives me nuts.
Really? Why?
You said a TLC ladder match.
Oh.
A table ladder and chair ladder match.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
I've been awake for a long time right now.
I know. We're almost done.
Yep.
For real this time.
Yes. So, after that, we get segment 3. We have Hanson, Vader, and Sid out. They challenge Team Bischoff to a 6-man at the pay-per-view. And said it is made official. It is going to be Hanson, Vader, and Sid, Team All Japan Pro Wrestling, taking on Bagwell, Luger, and Steiner. Holy shit. Oh, wow. That's...
Scotty, don't tag out.
Of all the matches in the world, that one did, in fact, take place.
We booked that shit.
We booked that shit.
It'd be a fun match.
It'd be interesting, I'll say that.
I mean, it'd just be the All Japan team beating the shit out of the other
the
three.
All Japan team just beat the shit out. And Luger, well, they beat the shit out of 2 of them while Luger stands on the apron.
Yes. Yes. Scotty would bump for them. Buff could bump for them, okay.
Yeah. Next, Ric Flair gets a big, strong win over Steve Corino. You know, he's got his match. He's ready for his match with Kurt Angle. But wait. Bro.
Oh, look, it's Vince Russo.
Bro.
Return to Pipedream Championship Wrestling.
Bro.
Out of the bunker.
I came out of the bunker. Okay, apparently everything's fine. I kind of miscalled. I got swerved by the Y2K, bro. But I'm back. Now I see we're having an election. I did give up my presidency. That's cool. But since nobody's been elected yet, I'm still technically the president. And I'm going to do one official last act as president. And Ric Flair, you've got a match with Kurt Angle at Election Day. That match, by order of the acting president, Vince Russo, is now going to be a gallon on a pole match.
And Vince, do you want to explain what a gallon on a pole match is?
What that means is if Ric Flair wins, Kurt Angle has to drink a gallon of booze. But if Kurt Angle wins, Ric Flair has to drink a gallon of whole milk. Clean, refreshing milk, bro. It's a great swerve. And with that, I'm out of here. I gotta go. There's a forklift in the back, and it's got Judy Bagwell's name on it.
Oh, God. All right, what's next, Regal?
Up next, good solid match here. Triple H defeats Jerry Lynn. Obviously, you know, we're getting...
Very interesting that all of, so far, the candidates' representatives are 0 for 2.
Obviously, the candidates are 0 for 2. So the guys who haven't went yet are obviously probably laughing pretty hard.
Yep.
After that, we get Sting and defeats Sting and Jeff Jarrett. Sting wins by DQ because Taker interferes, beats him down.
Either way, Jeff Jarrett still technically loses.
Jarrett loses the match. After that, Lance Storm gets a win over Chris Jericho because, of course, Jericho doesn't need a representative. Jericho picked himself.
Of course he did.
So, of course, on the night when all 4 of the representatives from the candidates were in singles matches, they all lost.
Yes, all 4 members of the Fatal 4-Way lost. Ugh.
And then this leads to our final segment of the night. It is Steve Austin and DDP. They officially signed the contract for the world title match at Election Day. And it is up to the pay-per-view. Election Day, our go-home show for this week. The opening match is a hardcore match between Kane and Rhino. Rhino with Don Callis. Great opening up with a bang. These guys are pulling out everything. They're brawling all over the building.
Rhino picks up the victory.
And Rhino picks up the victory.
Yep.
After that, match number 2 is Team All Japan Pro Wrestling. Stan Hansen, Vader, and Sid Vicious. They defeat Buff Bagwell, Lex Luger, and Scott Steiner. Like I said, Hansen probably beat the piss out of Buff Bagwell, but Buff definitely did not check his Cowboys for Angels account after the match. After that, the Outsiders take on the Dudley Boys.
I think the Dudleys would go over there, don't
Dudleys get the victory here. And then, it's time. It's a gallon on a pole. There's 2 gallons, and they're at the top of a pole.
See, I kind of imagined that there was 1 gallon, and then whoever won got to fill the gallon.
Okay.
It's an empty gallon.
There's only 1 gallon. Okay.
The 1 gallon jug, and whoever won got to fill it with whatever they chose. And obviously, Flair's going over there and is making Angle drink a gallon of alcohol. You don't think so?
I think Angle goes over there and Flair's drinking a gallon of milk.
Either way, hilarity will ensue.
Hilarity ensues. I mean, it'll be a great match, but there'll also be a lot of comedy mixed in because it's Flair and Angle,
which this show needs.
Yeah. After that, it's Undertaker and Sting. The dream match that we were so close.
Yep.
But we never got, man, and it hurts It hurts when I think about it that we were at one point so close, and they never pulled the trigger on it. I wish.
Woo! When you're living,
Rick, we're past your match, bro.
I know. How the hell did you let Vince Russo book me in a gallon on a pole match? Are you kidding me?
He was still the president.
So the president of...
He's the president of Pipedream Championship Wrestling.
You know you make this shit up, right?
Yeah.
You and that other guy?
Alex, yeah.
Yeah, you guys make this shit up, right?
Maybe.
Maybe? Are you kidding me?
This might have actually happened. A lot of weird shit happened in 2000.
I'm going to put your ass in the figure four right now.
A lot of weird shit happened in 2000. I was drunk a lot in 2000. So were you.
Well, we've got that in common. All right. I'm out of here. Unbelievable.
All right, Rick. We'll see you next week, buddy.
Yeah.
At least Rick didn't yell at me as much this week.
Well, yeah, he didn't stay long.
Yeah, he didn't stay long enough to yell.
So who won Taker and Sting?
I'm going to say Sting.
I think so, too.
All right.
I guess since, this was supposed to be my turn to do the show, and you just went into business for yourself, I'll just let you pick the winners, too.
No.
Go ahead. What's the next match?
You asked me who I thought won.
Yeah. Remember how we were going to go every other show, and you're doing the last 2 now? Go ahead.
Would you like to take over
no,
for halfway through the pay-per-view?
No, go ahead.
We sure you don't want to take over for halfway through the pay-per-view?
I'm sure.
Okay, so match 6.
You're just me doing an impression of you anyways.
Match 6 is the Fatal 4-Way.
Are you kidding me? It's me, the real Timothy Regal, and I've got a real Pipe Dream 2000. Kenta Kobashi defeats everybody!
Margaret?
Regal, get out of here.
Why does Alex's impression of me sound like Kyle the Choir Boy?
I don't know. You haven't actually played the rap, have you, Alex?
I think I accidentally deleted it.
Good. You did a rap in your voice.
His impression voice of me?
That's my impression voice of you.
No.
The real OGT sound is that high-pitched guy that comes in here sometimes. That just booked Kenta Kobashi defeat everyone.
That honestly probably would have been, that wasn't a pipe dream in 2000. That actually happened in Japan.
Anyways, keep going.
So we had the 4-way Jericho versus Lynn versus Jeff Jarrett. Well, Jericho versus Jarrett. Keep in mind, Lynn's got Heyman. Jarrett's got Bischoff. And Steve Corino with Don Callis.
My opinion, since this doesn't actually have any effect on the election, because the election's still by voting, I say we go baby over and give it to Jerry Lynn.
Jerry goes over?
I think so.
I'm debating between Jerry and Carino here, but I'll agree with you. We'll go Jerry.
Because Callis wins the election.
Yeah, because we just bury the lead. But
well, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
There's nothing that happens after this that's affected by who wins the election.
Yeah.
So Callis wins the election. Lynn wins the match.
Up next, the ultimate submission match. It is Brett versus Lance Storm. I can only imagine what it would be like if you gave these guys 30 minutes and said, go do your thing.
Yeah.
And see what came out of it. It would have been a Matt classic. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. And Lance goes over.
I would agree. Lance, but it's close. It's like a 2-1 finish.
Right.
Lance hooks the finish. You know what would be funny?
What?
It's tied 1-1 at the end of 30 minutes. They go to sudden death overtime. But
well, no,
nobody told Brett.
I was thinking it'd be that Lance is up 2-1. Brett gets him in the sharpshooter,
and then
time runs out, and Lance doesn't tap.
You know where I was going with the overtime segment of it?
Yeah, the Iron Man match.
Yeah, that Brett, of course, gets more things to cry about that he got screwed over because they didn't tell him it was going to be an overtime.
Yeah.
That piece of fiction that is Bret Hart's autobiography.
Keep going.
Up next, the match that I think would absolutely just blow the doors off everything on this pay-per-view. A 4-way tag team title TLC ladder match.
Fuck you.
The 4-team tag team title TLC match.
Yes.
There's not 2 ladders. There's only 1 ladder.
Table ladder and chair match.
But it is RVD and Sabu versus Edge and Christian versus the Hardys versus Ray and Kidman. I think we were going to be split here.
I think filthy.
Actually, we are together on this one. Ray and Kidman go over. We've been building them up for 3 months.
Well, we've been building them up for 3 months. They're the heels. And we have we have a bunch of babyface tag teams. We just had the Dudleys pick up a win.
Yeah.
We might as well have some heel tag champs.
Yep. Up next, it is the who is the real legend? Well, besides the Iron Sheik, of course, he's the real legend.
Oh, we should have booked Iron Sheik. Did he wrestle in 2000?
No, he did not. We'll book Sheiky's our backstage interviewer.
Oh my god. Anyways, Hulk Hogan and Triple H.
Sheik's our version of Funaki and Pipedream.
Oh god. Anyways, who do we have? Who do you have here?
I got Triple H.
I got Triple H too.
Yeah, you build up the legend story, the legend killer. Basically, Triple H is Randy Orton and Pipedream. He's a legend killer.
Apparently, yeah.
After that, it is the world title match. It is Steve Austin and DDP. This match, this was again a match that pretty much was right off the inception of doing 2000. Pipedream, you have the 2 blue collar working class heroes. Obviously, a little bit different the way they went about it, but the 2 guys that worked their asses off to get their spots. The 2 guys that were never supposed to be main eventers in the wrestling business, according to a lot of people, but they, through hard work and perseverance and refusing to give up, they both got there.
Let me tell you something, baby.
Dusty!
I'll take an issue with you pushing DDP and Steve Austin to the moon here, because who's this person that told them they was never going to be main eventers? They was never going to be main eventers. Who was it?
Eric Bischoff?
It was me, baby. You listened to Austin do his impression of me?
Yeah.
When I wouldn't book him against Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, I heard
Steve
that.
Austin versus Hulk Hogan? That would have been terrible.
I think
Who told Diamond Dallas Page that he should have stayed a commentator? It was me, baby. I've been wrong a couple times, and you want to bring up the 2 times I was wrong, and you want to rub it in my face,
Hey,
baby.
Dust.
Shut the hell up.
Dust.
I got a lot of issues with you right now, Timothy
so
Regal.
sure you do,
I'm surprised you didn't book a Chamber of Horrors match to make fun of me, Timothy Regal. You egg-sucking dog. You Jim Herd wannabe.
I just want to point out that you weren't booked.
I was getting to that. Damn it.
Well,
You know what, though? You know what happens at the end of this podcast every week?
What?
I do the plugs. So I decide what this thing is. I book the end of this podcast, and fuck you, Timothy Regal. You don't even follow Timothy Regal. I'm not even going to tell you where to find him on Twitter, because he can kiss my ass. Follow Margaret Adele. She talked a little. Shut the hell up. I'm doing the plugs. Follow Margaret Adele.
Dusty.
What?
We gotta say who won the main event.
I don't give a shit. Diamond Dallas Page won. Who cares?
DDP won. Alex, what do you think?
And then the life. He's gone. I took him out too. He's a dumbass. Let you book this shit. Anyways, I hate everybody this week. Don't follow any of these bastards. If I didn't want to contractually obligate. God damn it, Regal. You're laughing at me again. I hate you so much. If I wasn't contractually obligated to do these damn plugs, I would just put my cowboy hat on and clubber my way out of here, hitting everybody with an elbow on the way. I guess I gotta say this, though. Follow Timothy Regal at SCW Regal 444. Follow Margaret Adele. I guess she talked a little bit this week. Follow her at Bells in the Cell. I don't know when they're going to drop another podcast. I think they have one recorded. Follow Alex McCarthy, Flippin' Idiotic Booker at One Real Smart Alex. Follow Slam Fam at Slam Fam Rest. Slam Fam Wrestling on Instagram. At the Slam Fam Network on Facebook.
What's the Twitter, Dusty?
Regal.
What?
I did it.
You did.
I did it without messing up.
Maybe you gotta get real mad.
I did it. I'm gonna go have a beer, baby. That was excellent,
Dust, man. Remember?
No, I'm not leaving.
It's 2000. You were in Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling.
Shut the hell up, boy.
Alex, Dusty gave the plugs before we were done.
DDP won.
DDP won. But what do you think of this one?
I kind of want to keep going.
I do too. I kind of think we might keep this going. Might see where we're heading after this. I don't know, but
if I was smart, I would have saved, because some of them I threw out. Honestly, like some of them I just don't have anymore. I don't think.
Yeah.
If I was smart, we would have kept them all going, and then we would have done like a I don't know. We would have done a
tournament of champions.
No, just like which one would you like to see us continue?
Yeah, tournament champions
as a poll. I see what you're saying.
But
all right, we're gonna do one of these again next week.
No, I don't think so. Not next week.
Okay.
But before we go, real quick, how are things going in the 7-Star Mind Academy?
Great. I taught Moondog to fetch.
I heard that.
Yeah. Dion picked up the victory. Oh, you want to talk about that other thing, don't you?
You said everything was great, though. I mean, I don't know. Can we discuss that other thing real quick?
Okay.
My buddy Steve Manders.
Our buddy Steve Manders.
I don't know if he's your buddy anymore.
If he's upset with me, it's his own fault. I'm gonna say this, Steve. Roy Fox put his feet on the rope. I could have helped you, but I didn't, because you said you didn't want help. And what I'm gonna say is, if you would have taken my help, if you would have let me help you, you might be 3XW champion right now, but you're not. And that's all I have to say. The offer's still on the table. I could make you a champion, Steve. The offer's still on the table. I'm disappointed. I'm a little agitated with you, but the offer's still on the table.
Alright, folks. Well, that's about it. We did Pipedream Championship Wrestling. Great time. Had fun. It's really late. I want to go home and go to bed. Don't forget, obviously we already plugged everything we need to plug.
SCW hot.
I was going to get to that. SCW hot coming up this Saturday night. Is Buster Poindexter going to be there?
Who?
Buster Poindexter.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
The guy who sang "We're Feeling Hot, Hot, Hot."
Oh, is that his name? I have no idea.
It's Super Stanton.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's
hot.
For Timothy Regal, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, Margaret Adele, Alex McCarthy, the American Dream, Lance Dusty Rhodes. This is Lance Catamaran, and we'll see you at the show.
The American Dream, Lance Dusty Rhodes.
I was going to say the American Dream, Lance Storm. I don't know why.